morning.
Good morning, Madam Chairman.
Welcome to our October 5th Board of Elections meeting, and Director, want to call the roll
Ms. Barger,
here.
Mr. Wasco.
Here.
Mr. Beatrice.
Here.
And we need to do a moment of silence for our nation and our country, and how about for the election? And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we're going to use a plate. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I so move.
Second?
Take the roll, please.
Ms. Barger,
Yes.
Mr. Wasco,
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice.
Yes.
Chairman's report. I would like to.
Excuse me, do we approve the minutes of both those meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
And yesterday was the last day to register to vote, and then today is the first day.
To vote, early voting.
Early voting.
Early voting begins today.
I'll update us on that.
Yes, everything is ready to go. Early voting takes about 5 minutes. They come in, they register with the desk, they get their ballot, and they put it in the machine, and they vote and they go. That's about it. So it's a really simple process, and everybody who's early voted last year and the year before, they have really liked that process. It simplifies everything, so much for us, and it's fast.
Yeah.
And we're all ready to go. The machines are set up. The girls are in place. These girls have worked here for, 5 years, 6 years, doing early voting, so they know the flow.
Yeah, it's a great process.
It is a really
There
good
is.
process. It really is.
I find it works well.
Yeah.
Okay, director's report?
Well, we have a moral obligation to Pitney Bowes for $1,744. This is for software, as usual, the machines cost us one price and the software cost us another price. I actually talked to them and got it down to, we're going to pay monthly instead of paying one large fee at a time. This fee actually is from before when, we had our issues. So this is what this Pitney Bowes is for.
This is the catch-up.
This is the catch-up.
We have a
I
motion.
make a motion to approve the
Second.
moral obligation.
Director, take the roll?
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
I also have given you the policy reviews for the petition verification and for travel. The prosecutor asked me to draw one for travel since we've been having so much trouble getting our travel paid. This actually simplifies our travel. As a board, we are allowed to create our own travel policy. We do not fall under the county.
Does this coincide with the county's policy for travel?
It coincides with the federal government's policy. It was approved by the prosecutor already. I want you to look these over, and maybe at the next board meeting, when we have 4 board members, we can approve both policies. There's no big hurry for these. We don't need to have the policy for petitions or travel until January. So I would like to approve them at the next November board meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, at the last board meeting, I brought up part-time salaries. I think it's time that we consider giving the part-time employees who have been here for a long time and who we rely on at least $15 an hour. They're getting $12 and $13 at McDonald's. And these girls do a fabulous job. I have one extra doing poll workers, Democratic poll workers. The others do absentees. The girls over there who have been here for 5 or 6 years, are doing the early voting. And the boys down in the warehouse have been here also. So we have a staff that's in place, which a lot of boards don't. A lot of boards have to go out and look for people, train them, do the whole thing.
Recreate every year.
Recreate every year. We do not have to do that because we have loyal employees who are happy. But they're not happy with $10 an hour, and I don't blame them. I mean, for the work they do,
And that's the part-timers, correct?
that's part-timers, yes. It's part-timers.
I move that we pay the part-timers $15 an hour.
Go ahead.
I was going to mention one thing. Last time we did this, we just go back to the annex, and we did a sliding scale of 8, 9, and 10.
Right.
The problem is they're all at 10 now. And Joyce and me talked about doing a sliding scale maybe 12, 13, 14, 13, 14, 15. For the new people that come in, we're not going to start them at the same
Right.
rate we would someone that's been with us 20
Okay,
years.
I amend my own motion that
I'm
we do
sorry.
the sliding scale as Deputy Director Tom McCabe said.
Okay, 15, 12, and 10. Or 15 and
But
12, I
that's
think.
13,
I thought he said 12, 13.
12, 13, and 12?
15.
Oh,
Something
15,
like
13,
that.
and 12, okay.
15.
Depending on their abilities,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know. Because I have some come in for IT that would probably get 13 an hour, you know, on election day and, you know, things like that. So,
Do we have a motion?
we have a motion.
Effective,
I would put it effective the next pay scale, don't you think?
I don't have a problem with that.
as long as downtown's okay with that? Can you set
Downtown
a
will be
budget?
fine, yeah, it's in the budget. Because we did not have the salaries for, the primary.
Okay.
So we have money carried over from our salaries from primary, poll worker training and poll workers. So, we only had the city and Camel, and Struthers, so we're good.
You have an effective date? When was the last? pay
Effective
period?
immediately, or from last pay.
Okay, yeah.
Next pay period would be.
Next pay period,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, is that fine with you?
Oh, yeah, because then that gives me time to get all the paperwork.
Right.
out for everyone.
Okay,
So the
Okay.
motion is for the sliding
Yeah.
scale of 12,
15, 12, and 13.
No,
Oh,
12, 13, 15.
Okay, you're right, 12,
do
13.
you, is
Yeah,
it
that's-
3?
Yeah, that's fine, 3.
12, 13, 15, effective the next pay period.
Correct.
Okay, I
Do we
second.
have a second?
Yes.
Okay. Director, take the roll.
And that motion's coming from Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Barger,
Yes.
Mr. Wasko?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
Now, as you noticed when you came in, there are several signs out in front of the parking lot.
Several.
Several. I have contacted the prosecutor to ask him, because you can't even see our sign where it says park here. You know, for locations, for polling location, for poll workers and for the people who are coming in to vote. So it's excessive and but he thinks that the county commissioners can make the policy. So he's gonna let me know this morning about where we go, if the board can make the policy or if the commissioners have to make the policy. My problem is locations that we pay to have voting locations on election day. If this will happen at voting locations on election day, we will lose voting locations because nobody wants that. No location would want that. That might be a policy that the board might have to create, and we might have to have an emergency meeting for that, just to get that policy in place. Because the ones that we pay, I know that they'll leave us. The library will leave us. I mean, they won't tolerate this because this is excessive. I think we should make a policy where they're allowed 5 signs, yard sign size, you know, for locations. It just makes more sense,
What about no signs at all?
I don't think you could do that.
I don't think you can do that because
I don't know if
they'll-
you can even limit the signs.
Well, I don't know. I'm waiting for the prosecutor's opinion. When I called the Secretary of State, they said, call your prosecutor, you know, which they always say to me.
So
So I should-
it's more about the size than how many, is that?
Well, it's a little bit about how many too. You can't even see the parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, and the size too. They were here yesterday all day. They were here last night putting up signs. I mean, it doesn't even give other candidates the opportunity.
It's not our job to give other candidates the opportunity. It's our job to construct a policy that fulfills the First Amendment obligations, the United States Constitution and the Ohio State Constitution, both which provide First Amendment protections for political speech. So I don't know if we can do a size and/or number requirement. I'd have to look at that. But
Well, when the prosecutor gets back to me, I will send it to all you board members so you all know where we are and what the prosecutor has told us. I mean, how do I, over there, how do I tell people, do I move my sign, the parking sign? I mean,
we can have a policy, no sign put up shall obstruct any, signs directing people where to park. It has to be content neutral and not specific to any candidate.
right,
So if it's content neutral, it's saying no sign placed by any candidate shall obstruct the view of any signs on how to park, that would be okay. But to say you can only have 5 signs or you can't have big signs, I mean, that's not gonna
you
fly.
might wanna call Paul and give him your view.
I'm not giving Paul, he's the county prosecutor, he's a big boy, he can.
Okay. I will
Like
tell.
obstruct any
Obstruct.
permanent signs.
Yeah,
But we have that authority to do, because like the commissioners are the landlords.
well, that's it. He thought that the commissioners could make a policy about obstructing the parking lot. That's what he thought last night when I talked to him.
That would be totally fine. If someone's obstructing or causing a hazard, you're gonna be okay to do that.
Okay. Yeah, it's not really about the candidate, it's about the signage,
Right.
you know,
But then you're saying out in the field at all of those locations.
well, I'm worried that if this happens at the locations, we will lose the locations.
Okay, your
We lost Holy Family because they put signs up, and Holy Family was a great location.
Right.
And, you know, but I don't wanna lose St. Pat's, I don't wanna lose the libraries. There's, you know, he's looking over the contract that we have with these locations to see, what is what, on them. I think the prosecutor is our, you know, go-to. I just want you to make you aware of it because, we do have a problem with our signage.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe I can just ask Mr. White to take down the signs in front of our
No,
signage.
don't do that.
Don't do that, okay.
You're under the color of state law, asking him in your official capacity to take down a sign because we don't have a policy in place about the obstruction of the view.
Right.
And so that could be looked at as you're trying to suppress his political speech.
Well, the commissioners might have to create the policy.
Yeah.
And that might come up at the next commissioners meeting, which is Thursday, so, we may be out, it may not even be in our hands, you know, so, I just wanna make you aware of it and where we're going. Other than that, the election is running smoothly, we're good with poll workers, I think we have 15 vacancies as of now with Democrats and Republicans. Jenny Ditzler has taken over the poll workers for Democrats, she's doing an outstanding job, of that, and, that's where we stand.
Having 15 vacancies this far out is pretty good, I mean.
Yeah,
right.
well, it's early.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's early. So you never know, people get sick, you know, it's gonna be flu season, with this COVID, who knows, but we're in good shape right now. So, and early, like I said, early voting is running smoothly.
Well, that's good. Any unfinished business?
Yeah, what are we doing about the chairman of the board?
Well, since we don't have a fourth board member, we sort of have to wait for that to,
We don't have to wait for that. Nothing in the rules says we have to wait for that.
I would have to become deputy director, and he made me director. I'm just saying, that's what, I mean, what do you want to do?
We'll wait.
It's
No,
up,
wait.
you're the board, you decide.
No, we'll wait.
Any new business? I would like to, I know we're in, like,
Indeed. It's all right.
we have done the paperwork for our new member for the committee, has elected Bob Arant, who's outside in the hallway.
Hey, Bob.
And I think most of you know who he is, so he will be filling the fourth position.
Bob?
Sorry. Any communications?
None, Madam Chairman.
Anything for the good of the order, any public comment?
Good morning, I'm from the League of Women Voters.
Good morning, welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you, thank you, good to be here. Thank you for helping to distribute our voter guide to the
No problem.
voters.
And next time we'll be in the same room.
It'll be fine, this is, it's like going to a movie.
Like, the next scheduled meeting, the next scheduled adjourned regular meeting is set for 6 PM on Monday, November 1st, set to adjourn Tuesday, November 2nd, after the close of polls, collection, tabulation, and release of the unofficial general election vote total results. Do we have a motion for adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second?
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Mr. Wasco?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.